Praise the Lord, this is D from Simple Complex Men coming again with another video today. So, as you all may have heard, Bishop Lamor Whitehead was recently in the news. He's been in the news for a while now, from the church robbery now to dealing with the altercation that took place between him and another woman, and it was another lady as well, that was in the church recently, that he had to kind of grab or some people say lay hands or escort out of his church. Um, it looks like he released some security footage, and as you, if you not didn't see the last video I just posted, where I actually put some footage of the women in their at least one of the ladies in their vehicles that seemed like she was connected and somehow. I don't have all the information, but based upon his press conference that he just had, it kind of makes sense. And that's why I said sometimes you just have to wait and allow things just to kind of come to light gradually. So let's just take a quick look at this security footage. And also we'll look a little bit at his press conference. Okay, so we can see here. So these are the look like the two women allegedly. Okay, so as you can see, that she's getting up. So this is when she's starting to shout. So this is the beginning of the altercation. She's making her way up to the front. They're having an exchange of words. Of course, the live audio is in the prior video. Yeah, I really think honestly at this point, some members should have gotten involved to kind of help him out. That's just my opinion because everyone just kind of sitting there, clapping, and I'm like, that's fine up to a certain point, but there were other, people in the church that could have kind of helped a little bit more, I believe, personally, to kind of keep the bishop out of it. Now, see, that's the part that he talks about. He when the lady was heading toward his wife and child. Okay, so that's the actual security footage that he put out, and he did mention even in the press conference that he said he did not grab her by the neck. He grabbed her by the back of her, I guess, collar area and by the arm. Now, so how did she get the scratch marks? Now that's a whole nother issue here. Now, if what's happening, if it truly is some type of setup going on, then I guess we can't put it past them if it either because he said that she went immediately to the police, the New York police, who actually were in the basement. So the police officers, because of the robbery, they have police officers now at his church, but I guess they stay in the basement. He stated that the police officers were asleep at the time. So when he went to go get them, so that's why they never came up to the whole commotion. They were actually downstairs, but he stated that they were asleep at the time. So he said that when he escorted the woman, he transferred her to the actual police officers at the time. So I don't know. So we're gonna need some clarification as to how did she get the scratch marks? Was it self inflicted? Did the police officers do that to her? Now, she didn't say that, because in the other video, the prior video I did, you notice when they were outside, she said that she started talking about it went viral. So she seemed pretty excited that they were getting publicity for what happened. You know, she didn't look upset about what happened to her. She looks more excited about the video going viral. And so and that's when she showed the scratch marks on her neck. um but she didn't say, and the police officers were right across from her, so you would think that, of course, if the police did it, why would she be so comfortable just kind of standing right across from them with those marks on her neck? I mean, those are some, pretty deep injuries. So I'm a little confused. We're going to definitely need some clarity about these scratch marks, and how did they get on her neck.
I went through all of the chain of command to publicity off of me. They were the ones that sent these people here. Choke somebody from behind. She came over, she cussed me out, cursed me out, called me all type of names. I said, all right, me and my church started to pray. And I said, now you have to go. You have to get out. You have to go. What you guys don't see on camera is that she started to walk back to leave, and then she spit back around. And she came back after my wife and my daughter. So I have my wife and my daughter, who's 10 months old, sitting there, and she came and said, and now you're a liar, going towards my wife. And that's when you seen her walk in front of me, going at my wife and my daughter, and I grabbed her. Everybody's saying that I choked her. How can you choke somebody from behind? I don't understand it. I never wrapped my arms around her neck. I have no fingernails, so they say that I scratched her. I don't have any fingernails. I never have fingernails. You can see I don't have fingernails.
Okay, so that goes back to my question earlier about the whole scratches on the neck. Now he's saying he doesn't have any fingernails, and I don't put it past him. He seems pretty clean. He probably gets the manicure, pedicure, stuff like that, which is fine. Um, so maybe he doesn't, and if that's the case, I'm sure there's some DNA. I mean, that type of scratch. If you look at the video, the prior video I put up, it would be some type of DNA under his fingernails, to really create that type of scratch on her neck. So, um, that's something that should be easily be able to be found.
So I grabbed her from behind, by her shirt, from behind, and by her shoulder. And I escorted her out. And I'm going to be posting this video. I'm going to post a video. And actually, if you look on the blogger, there are two bloggers, Larry Reed and King Jive. All right, these two bloggers.
Now he mentioned the two bloggers, and I am kind of aware of them. I've seen the one of them, the Larry Reed, before. Not don't know a whole lot about its platform, but uh, the other one he mentioned, the King Jogger, I believe. I may be mispronouncing it. However, I believe that was the part of the video, my first video that we released. That was the footage of the young lady that was in the car. Okay, when they went to approach the lady that allegedly got assaulted. Um, so that it had a watermark on it, and so they probably have a lot of footage, even more footage on their YouTube channel as well.
They're nobody, but they're trying to get publicity off of me. They were the ones that sent these people here. So once again, Bishop Whitehead was set up.
And that's the other thing. Why are these bloggers, if allegedly this is happening, why are these bloggers targeting him? And again, are they just, do they have just issues with the church, period? Do they have issues with how he presents himself as a bishop? And, or is there something going on? Did something transpire between the groups, the parties? I think a lot of that needs to come out as well, because right now, just like he's definitely just being targeted at this point. It's either an elaborate setup, which this is a lot, to garner some attention. I'm not saying it can't happen, but or it is actually, like he said, it's a setup. We need to get to the bottom, the reason, which that's not going to, I'll give as much as I can on it, but the reality is, this is something for the police officers in its jurisdiction to really investigate.
We are coming off of the eve of me being robbed by 3 gunmen. By 3 gunmen. Okay? That's the eve that we're coming off of. 3 gunmen came and robbed myself, my wife, and my church. And the gunman put a gun in my 8-month-old baby's face. Okay? And that's the only thing that I can remember. This lady had a bag under her arm and she was going after my wife. And I grabbed her. And I took her out. I pushed her out, and I have the video. And the police officers saw the video. All the police officers saw the video that was there. I spoke to Chief Badry. I spoke to Inspector Stevenson. I spoke to the captain, which is the inspector of this church, Amadullah. I spoke to him. He was at a wedding. I went through all of the chain of command to make sure that this lady was arrested. I went through all of the chain of command to make sure that they had the proper information to arrest this young lady. Both of them. Nobody arrested them. They told me that the detectives was coming. Okay? The detective came. Her name was Francois. Detective Francois. And I'm filing a complaint against her. I'm filing a complaint against her because she was the one that gave the order to illegally arrest me. She didn't ask me no questions. She didn't ask the victim. She didn't ask my church no questions. She came on the scene. She had a conversation with the police officers, and she turned around and said, "Arrest her." Now, let's go back. Let's go back. My minister, once these ladies started to disturb my church, my ministers went downstairs to the offices, and they were sleeping. Okay, they were sleeping. She went downstairs. They were sleeping. And she said, come upstairs, there's a problem. Okay? And the problem was going on. And when I pushed the lady outside of the door, the officers was coming upstairs and they went right in their hand. However, if they wasn't sleeping, then they would have been able to understand what's going on.
So, like I said, it's a 25-minute video. Feel free to go to his Instagram and watch the whole thing. And I'm sure there's other uh, videos up on YouTube as well. But I just kind of wanted to say, that's why we got to be so careful, just to be judgmental about things, just assume things until all the information gets out. And that was one of my concerns because, obviously, he is a black man and he doesn't dress like the normal let's say bishop or pastor for not all of them, but a lot of them do dress up pretty well. And like I said, I don't really have a problem with some of the dress up. I think like me and brother Will said in our last video, one of our videos, our pastors able to show their wealth. In that video, we talked about that, using wisdom, especially as a believer, you have to be able to do those type of things. Like they thought Jesus was going to be coming riding on a chariot and everything, and he comes in on a donkey, and that kind of blew their mind, and so sometimes we do have to come in on a donkey, because the world is looking at us. Yeah, it's not, some things are not fair. It may not be fair that you can't wear or do certain things. Yeah, but life isn't fair, so that happens, when we step into certain positions and callings. And so I think the bishop needs to really take an opportunity to look at that and assess that. Now he can keep pressing and say, "Hey, I'm gonna set a new trend and I'm gonna force this thing and make it happen. You're gonna accept it." Cool, but also you gotta, part of that journey is also accepting what comes with it. You know, fair or not. It's not even about right or wrong. It is what it is, and perception is reality to a lot of people. So, um, again, like I said, I do also wanted to say if those who are listening don't have a relationship with Jesus Christ, um, to accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. This has nothing to do with the individual. We have all types of ministers. We have good churches. We have bad churches. We have all types of stuff. But we always have a good God, no matter what is going on, in the earth and amongst organizations that we perceive that, hey, why would I want to go to church because they do this and this happened and da 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 da. And you might have experienced some things, and that happens. We've all experienced stuff. Why? Because we're interacting with humans, So you're gonna experience things, and I'm not saying it justifies anything, but never let that discourage you from a relationship with God. Never let someone else's actions discourage you from a relationship with God. So I just want to encourage you, if you don't have that relationship, just to ask Jesus Christ to come into your life, accept him as your personal Lord and Savior, and he'll come in, he'll begin to make changes, he begin to lead, guide, and direct you into all truth. And so again, I'm D for Simple Complex Men. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you in the next video.